What a time to be a Detroit Lions fan. The bandwagon is continuing to fill up. We started seeing that last year from Peter King to Scott Pioli and everyone else. And the way that we came from behind 1-6, finished 8-2 to finish 9-8 on the season, missing out on the playoffs and eliminating the Green Bay Packers when we had nothing to play for. The NFL is watching the Detroit Lions, and so is the rest of America, as I believe we are kind of the new America's team. So much so that HBO came to us again to see if they could have a sequel to Hard Knocks. And I don't think they've ever had one, a sequel, a direct sequel, man. It's like Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? So this is crazy. And we open up the 2023 season against the Kansas City Chiefs at their home as they get their rings for the previous season. But what amazes me is last year we started to get a lot of kind of love from the fan base and people who put money down on sports. Now, that has been a very touchy thing for the Detroit Lions as of late with the situation with Jameson Williams. But last year, the bettors were in favor of Aiden Hutchinson winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, which he should have, got shafted. Dan Campbell winning Rookie Head Coach of the Year, which if it wasn't for Brian Dable or the Detroit Lions make the playoffs, I think he wins it. So they were kind of onto something. And according to BetMGM, these things keep getting more and more aggressive as the offseason goes on. According to BetMGM, check this out, says loving the Lions, 38% of the amount of bets on Detroit plus 800 to win the NFC, not North. Like there's no North in here. We already know that they bet us to win the NFC North. Win the NFC. So 38% of the bets placed on Detroit, 38% amount of bets on Detroit to win the NFC, period. The NFC, period. Not the North, not win 10 games, 11 games. The NFC, period. You know who's at the top of the NFC? The Philadelphia Eagles. We lost to them by 3 points. You know who's the second on top of the NFC? The San Francisco 49ers, the team that we thought that we should have played. We would have had to play in the playoffs if we would have made it. That was with the secondary we had last year that we fell to the Eagles by 3 points. That was with the team we had. We have revamped the defense. The second line, secondary. Jerry Jacobs just talked today about on Good Morning Football about how he believes the secondary is going to be pretty dominant. And I think they're going to be the strong part of our defense. The offense has gotten better with Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, bringing back Marvin Jones Jr. We're going to have Jameson Williams for, instead of having 6 or 7 games, we're going to have him for 11. The Detroit Lions, I'm telling you, man, this is surreal. The more we hear about our team, usually when you hear about the Detroit Lions, up until probably the firing of Matt Patricia, it was never with good. It was never in a good light. We never spoke about our team, okay? And in some places, they still got to put respect on our team. But as we know, and the team knows, nothing is done until it's done. So we can be hype. We can do all this stuff. You know who won the division? The Minnesota Vikings. So we have to come take it from them. Those are what we need to do. That's the stuff we need to do. So it's not ours. It's not a given we're going to win the NFC North. We got to come take it. And I think these guys are going to come take it. But the faith from the bettors, man, who just keep picking Detroit. They just keep coming toward Detroit with all these things that we've never done. Could you imagine? We've never won the NFC North. Ford Field has never hosted a playoff game. Could you imagine? We've never even won the NFC. We came close in 1991, but we've never. Could you imagine that happening? You're talking about in order to win the NFC, that means we probably won the North. We won our first. We hosted a playoff game. We won our first one. Then we go en route and if we win the NFC North, the NFC, that puts us in the Super Bowl. And I tell you what, I was thinking about this. A lot of times we sit back in the history. I know I'm guilty of it myself. Up until even the first year of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, Sheila Hemp, even a little bit into year 2 as we started off 1-6, we relived the history of the Detroit Lions. And we want to pump the brakes, right? A lot of people are like, pump the brakes. You don't want to be, we're talking Super Bowl. Why can't we talk Super Bowl? Is it because we haven't won a playoff game? Is it because we've never won a division? That doesn't mean all of that can't happen in 1 year. We could literally win the NFC North, host a home playoff game, so that's a first, host a home playoff game, first, win a playoff game, first time in 35 years, right? Run it to the Super Bowl, win the NFC North. Like, it can all happen in 1 year. So I don't think that we're jumping the gun. I really don't. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila Hemp has built this team. It's been a 3-year process. Gutted out the old. The Matt Patricia. Year 1 was rough. Year 2 started rough, finished strong. Year 3, come out the gate strong. And what better opponent than the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So I'm not a Kool-Aid guzzler. Like, I look at the team. I'm going to tell you if I didn't think there was a chance. I do. I don't see why the Detroit Lions can't do everything I just listed. It has nothing to do with they've never done it before. It can all change. We've seen San Francisco go from second to Super Bowl. We've seen the Eagles, go from where they were, the dream team. Remember those Eagles? They won the Super Bowl eventually, though, but not with the dream team, right? We've seen the Miami Dolphins have all these first-round picks, and they can barely get into the playoffs. The Detroit Lions are building this team the right way. We can do all that this year. The past has nothing to do with right now. Not in this case. And I'm big on the history of the Lions and the pain that we've been through. But why can't we do exactly what MGM says? 38% of the bets placed on the Detroit Lions are for them to win the NFC, period. Think about that. That's how much attention, that's how much faith that people have in a franchise that has nothing to show for it up until this point. It's a good time to be a Lions fan. You know what? I'm proud, and I'm proud for everybody watching this video. I'm proud that I was here. I almost walked away, but I was here before the bandwagon started filling up. You know what I'm saying? So let me know in the comments below. What do you feel about MGM? 38% of the bets placed on Detroit are for them to win the NFC. And do you believe we could go all the way? Or do you think we got to take baby steps first? Let me know in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. We have 73 days until the NFL season kicks off. And as always, go Lions.